Today is Tuesday, Parashat Shofetim. One of the mitzvot in the parasha of this week is not to be wasteful, and also to make sure to protect the ecology, to protect the natural resources that we have in the world. And he puts it in a context that even if you are at war with a certain city, and you laid siege around the city, you gave the city opportunities for peace, but now you're ready to attack, and typically in a war, there's a lot of destruction going on. The soldiers have only one thing in mind: to win that war. So anything that could be used in that attempt to win the war would seem to be allowed. Torah tells us no. If you want to build a ramp on that city, you're not allowed to destroy fruit trees to get the wood to build that ramp, because the fruit trees are a natural resource that people need to feed on, and do not destroy that. By the way, that applies not just in a war. Anybody who has a fruit tree, it's a big issue to cut down a fruit tree. Of course, there are exceptions. If the fruit tree is causing some damage. We had once here in the community somebody who had a fruit tree that the roots were going into an underground parking ceiling and creating a leak. So there was some damages that were caused by that. So of course you could uproot that fruit tree. If you can replant it somewhere else, that would be great. But if not, if it's impossible, then that would be, the idea of causing damage, that would be something that you can have an exception. But typically, not allowed to cut down fruit trees, because fruit trees provide sustenance to people. But that mitzvah is extended also to not being wasteful in general, whether it is with food or with belongings that you have, something that is of service to you, to not be wasteful to it. And also, sometimes if you need to prepare a meal, there's ways to do it where there's no waste, and if there's something that can be used, you use it rather than just throwing it away. So that's the idea of being wasteful. But in passing, he mentions Adam etz hasadeh, because that person is like a fruit tree. And Chachamim explain, Ibn Ezra says that a person is like a fruit tree, meaning since the person depends his survival on the sustenance, on the food that is being fed by the fruit trees and nature in general, so you have to be careful to protect it, because that's what allows you the survival. The other explanation also, a person can be compared to a fruit tree, because just like a fruit tree has roots, we also have roots. From what we have from previous generations, from our traditions, we have roots, and also same way that a fruit tree gives fruits, we also give fruits in a way through our actions, through the proper words that we say, through the creativity that we have. There is a certain amount of doing things and putting it forth, just like a tree puts forth fruits, we also put forth, whether it is actions that are proper, or words that are proper, or also the way from generation to generation, from a seed, from the fruits comes another tree, and also we give through our generation to generation. It's in a way just like the fruit trees continue from tree to tree. And the main idea here in this portion is, of course, not being wasteful, protecting the ecology, and making sure that we don't destroy our natural resources, because we do need them. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.